over the past couple of years, gamers have become extremely vocal when it comes to what they like and dislike in their entertainment. And unfortunately for companies, this isn't going to change anytime soon. They want us to just shut up, consume product, and move on to the next, but those days are over. And when it comes to Clair Obscur Expedition 33, it is doing phenomenally. It is sold out worldwide, it's breaking records, and it's tons of people's games of the year, mine included. And now we're seeing RPG fans saying this is what we need more of in the video game industry, and the companies need to learn from this. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I have played most of Clair Obscur Expedition 33 at this point. When I'm uploading this tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be live streaming the end of my playthrough. It has been phenomenal. It is definitely a Game of the Year contender for me, probably going to be my Game of the Year, unless something like Doom blows me away, but it is phenomenal, and so many other people agree. It has tons of people playing it and purchasing it. Physical copies are sold out worldwide, and now RPG fans are saying the industry needs to learn from this. So it says it's becoming increasingly bleak for the games industry as time goes on. I do definitely agree with this, but it's really only their fault. If people within the mainstream industry, whether we are talking about the access media or we are talking about development studios, if they started listening to gamers, they would have known a game like this would have been successful years ago. A game that doesn't push a narrative, high quality, not a full price $70 game. Like, these all work in this title's favor. It is gorgeous. It is written so well. It is so interesting. It is new and fresh and unique. It's not a reboot or a remake or a remaster, and we've seen so many of those over the years. It really is a no-brainer as to why this has succeeded, and well, the industry only has themselves to blame that they're only seeing this as successful now. It says it's making games like Clair Obscur Expedition 33 exceedingly rare these days, but the fact that the game exists and is seemingly extremely successful is proof that maybe there's hope yet. With a small development team and budget, Clair Obscur has become a smash hit in just a few days, and now gamers are pointing to it as the line in the sand for the industry. It says, though, it is a line in the sand because a Reddit user called 8118XD was the first to make this bold claim, as they explain that they hope Clair Obscur causes a change in the philosophy of many studios in the games industry, and that studios realize they can make popular games with small teams and sensible budgets rather than the massive titles that cost hundreds of millions to make that we're seeing so regularly these days. This is what we have been saying for years at this point. It's interesting that the gamer only now is deciding to put up an article saying maybe gamers are actually correct. When it comes to games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, we are talking about thousands and thousands of people from the core development team to other studios that are brought in to help, from writers and producers and consultants, and we are talking about thousands of people. Games do not need thousands of people to be made. It is better to have a smaller team because, first of all, we're not talking about arguments on set or in the dev room, right? We're not talking about people bickering and then 500 people being against what 700 people want, and then that creating kind of drama. We're talking about small groups of people who can talk out the ideas that they have and flesh out the concepts together. And then you don't have one person making a storyline for one character and another person making a storyline for another character, and then those two just make absolutely no sense and they don't mesh in a way that feels coherent. We're talking about people who are passionate about a product, and when you have such bloat and you have thousands of people working on a game, there's bound to be people who just are in it for the money and not in it because they are passionate about the story they're trying to tell. And I don't think that games need $500 million budgets. Look at what happened with fucking Concord, right? That game looked like it was made with, I don't know, $10 million in a dream. It didn't look like it cost $500 million from the initial iterations of the game to after Sony bought Firewalk Studios and then all of that development time, like it was god awful. It just goes to show that you can't just throw money at a problem and it will magically go away. It says, though, in a similar post on the gaming subreddit, another user called Clair Obscur a $50 masterpiece in an $80 industry and claims that the cost of making a game doesn't mean it will be good. Others bring up low budget success stories that have been made in the past too, like Lies of P and more recently Schedule 1. I think that there are so many phenomenal AA and indie games out there that deserve so much attention. And luckily, these games have gotten it. Like Lies of P is an amazing game and it deserves all the hype that it's gotten. Schedule 1 is really fucking fun. It is a cool indie game made by a singular person. Like these are amazing success stories. And while Clair Obscur clearly had, I would say, a decent budget behind it, I would assume at least $50 million. It goes to show that when you price a game properly, you're not, charging as much as possible, and you also are creating a full experience. It's not like it's, 5 hours, right? You are going to rake in the sales. It says, though, sure, big budget blockbusters like The Witcher 4 and GTA 6 on the horizon will likely launch and be incredibly successful, but games like Clair Obscur make you realize that all it can take sometimes is a bunch of talented, passionate developers, a cool idea, and a little bit of luck to make a true smash hit. That's what the industry used to be successful from. The industry used to thrive because of smaller, intimate teams of passionate people. BioWare didn't used to be 500 or 600 people. Obsidian didn't used to be 1,000 fucking people. They were small teams of people who just wanted to create really great stories and really high quality products, and that is what we have seen from Expedition 33, and I think that Sandfall is going to see a lot of success. I hope that they're clearing a room in their office for all of the trophies that they're about to earn now that GTA is not releasing this year. I think that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is going to be an undisputed Game of the Year winner. And we know that this game is not just seeing success in the eyes of the mainstream media, who of course is talking about it, but also in the eyes of fans, and it's breaking records basically every single day. This is an article talking about how now it's broken another record on Steam, because typically most games on Steam, particularly single-player games, tend to be at their most popular over the opening weekend. When the player count grows for the second week, you know you've got something truly special on your hand. The likes of Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 both managed week 2 climbs and both ended up as runaway Game of the Year winners. Seeing Clair Obscur Expedition 33 manage to achieve the same now is a promising sign that the world of turn-based RPGs excellence is continuing to spread. I have done another 2 videos on Clair Obscur and specifically turn-based games, because while obviously turn-based has never gone away, I do think personally that we are going to see a big resurgence of it. I think a lot of companies now are going to go, well, turn-based is selling, so we're going to follow suit. We had Baldur's Gate 3, we had Metaphor, we are having Expedition 33. There's too many signs pointing to smashing successes when it comes to turn-based, and I think that's going to be a new big trend in the industry, but it says it's easy to see why. Sandfall has built something truly special. I still vividly remember being blown away by its surrealist style and beautiful battles back at Gamescom 24, so I wasn't too shocked to read Josh hailing it as an essential turn-based RPG that is both a love letter to its inspirations and a potential vision of the genre's future. So I'm just super happy to see this game doing so well. It says following its launch weekend high of 121,422, Expedition 33 has climbed to a new concurrent player count peak of 129,461 on Saturday, May 3rd, and they wouldn't be shocked if it topped that number again. I definitely think it's going to continue to climb, and it's so good to see that, this game is sold out. Nobody can get physical copies right now. The developers and the publishers apologized, saying they're so sorry that the interest has been much larger than they kind of expected it to be, which is really cool for them, and the game is just doing phenomenally right now. So yeah, gamers are saying this is what the industry needs to do. The industry needs to make high quality lesser priced products, and they're going to continue to see massive successes. And I do hope that the industry sees this as a sign that they don't need to put $500 million and 10 years into one single game's development cost and time, and they can actually put out new unique content as long as it is well written, and it will be successful. So of course I'll be keeping my eye on Expedition 33's smashing success, as I'm sure it's only going to continue to dominate. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.